And welcome back again. I am Sean, as you will know by now. The last mission we did was diplomatic orders. Unfortunately, we had to use a substitute ship due to an unfortunate event in game. However, what I'm going to do with this next mission is we're going to go back to space dock, and we are going to get the correct ship we should be using at this level. So we're going to complete diplomatic orders by choosing reward of either a photon or a quantum torpedo. They both have very similar stats. The photon has a high DPI, so we're going to go for that, and we're going to collect our reward.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
And we get another little boost at the top here towards our next rank. So, here we go. We need to go and speak to Lieutenant Ferrer at the Academy, so we need to go back to Space Dock or Earth anyway. We have a new officer joining, and we can choose between an engineering, a science, or a tactical officer. Now, as I've said before, we're going to spread the love a little bit. We already have 2 engineering. We have 2, 1 each of tech and science. So we'll get another tech officer, I think. Who is a Tellarite. Again, you'll decide what you want and look at the stats over here. For instance, this officer can allow us to fire high-level beams. The science officer can polarize the hull and has a gravity well, and the engineering officer can eject some warp plasma, which is quite cool. I'm actually changing my mind now because I want to show you the gravity well, so I'm going for the science officer. We'll pick him up. Not really sure about that name myself. Now look, he's a funny little chap, isn't he? So we'll allow him to join the ship.
I've received a report. There is a Bolian freighter that is overdue arriving at Earth space dock. It may need assistance.
And as generally happens when we're explaining something, someone will pop up and say something, and we're not ready for that. We're moving to one side. Not really sure about Gij, so I'm going to show you how to rename the character. And what should we call him? Should we call him Baal? I don't know why, but there it is. We click OK. And as I said before about changing uniforms, if you do them as you go along, it's a lot easier. So we click on Change Uniform here. We can immediately go to the uniform screen, go to Bridge Officers, find a new member of the crew down here. Modify his outfit. And we wait for the game to catch up. And if we load an outfit, we can just give them the outfit that we've already made for the other crew members. We have to click Just Outfit here for some reason. And scroll down to the one we made for this crew. Click on Load, and it'll load him up. One thing to notice here is that it doesn't always change everything. So sometimes you have to go in manually and actually change the bit that's wrong. So in we go here. We can change the upper body to whatever the other guys are wearing. Now, I think it was Next Generation, was it not? Or maybe he is wearing it already, it's just the wrong colours. No. Anyways, we'll plop that on him, but the one thing we want to make sure is that because he is a science officer, he shouldn't be wearing red. So we will just go in and change his stuff to blue. There we go. I'm not going to spend too long doing this. I've already shown you in a couple of tutorials how this works. But just for now, I'll tidy these guys up before the next video. But just for now, we will make him look semi-decent for the rank and the career option he is. So we'll click purchase and he ends up in a blue top. But we can change the way he looks and everything. We'll look at that a bit later as well. So come out of this screen. Now Admiral Quinn has a mission for us called Stranded in Space. We will of course accept that because it's part of our story arc, which is under episodes Klingons. We've done space dock, diplomatic orders, and here we are stranded in space. So we're going to do this next. We picked up a load of side missions because when we do these, they also help increase our character and make the story arc a lot easier. So we need to go back to the Academy first off at Earth space dock, or it'll be on Earth. So we'll actually go to our map. We'll choose the Sol system here and we'll pop over there because I do want to change this ship for the one we're supposed to be using at this level, and then we'll all be back on course. If you didn't see the last video, the reason we used this ship as a stand-in was because something went wrong in the renaming of the other ship and it took away our ability to repurchase it. So you're learning as we go. We're also looking at mistakes and how to correct mistakes. So whereas I could have remade the video from scratch, we wouldn't have learned anything from that and we would just believe that it's the perfect world. Now here, one of our side missions, if we stop, was to actually take somebody somewhere else. So here we can, because it's in this area and we've gone here, as I said, you will pick up side missions and get as many as you can because eventually you will be in the location of that mission anyway. So we'll beam that person up.
Hello. Admiral Quinn told me that you would be available to take me to Starbase 39 Sierra. From there, I'm going to the Hobus system. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about that area.
See, again, we have questions we can ask. I'll let you do that. You should do all these things to further your enjoyment, but in order to carry on through missions a bit more quickly, I'm just going to click on some default options.
And ready. The USS Tucker is waiting for me at the Starbase. They'll be taking me to the Hobus system. Maybe this time we'll find the clues we need to solve this mystery.
Yeah, so we just click on options for me to move through these early missions and tutorials for you. USS Tucker, we recognize that name, or you should do if you watch Enterprise. If not, watch Enterprise. It's a TV series about the first trips into space.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So, yeah, we are going to enter the Sol system, which is where Earth happens to be, of course. So what I want to do first off is just to go and sort out this ship issue and make sure we've got the right ship. You can see here all the other players in the game in this what we call instance, or on this server at the moment, and If you put your cursor over some of the ships, you'll see a little man icon. You can right click on him. It tells you who that player is. As I've said before in other tutorials, you can send them a message, invite them to a team, etc., etc., or just find out stuff about them. This guy here, Zavi, we can see he's a Fleet Admiral level 65, which is what we're aiming for, and also they have diplomatic ranks and things like that. So can be quite interesting just to have a look around what people are doing. Or not. So we need to go to the Academy, but first off we're going back onto the space station, space dock, because we want to fix our little ship issue. We are flying a ship that's really made for a science officer here. We are actually engineering in our career, so we're going to make things better. And we're also going to learn something by doing this. Now, what we were supposed to do here was to pick up a Constellation type ship. It got away on us a little bit, and the only way to fix that was to buy the Constellation as opposed to getting it free. So when we went into here, we discovered that buying the Constellation ship after having messed it up before was going to cost us 2,500 Dilithium. And we didn't have enough. We only had 2,400. But what we can do now, we can go into our inventory and assets. We should be able to refine some more Dilithium, and it's 384. So if we click that button, it then gives us 2,784 Dilithium, which should be enough to buy our ship. We need to click on and off to get this to refresh, and there we are, we can buy the ship. While we're here though, if you're playing this as a new career, let's say you already had a toon that had got to level 65 or something, and you wanted to start a new career path or do the original series adventures, etc., you may not have accumulated enough Dilithium to buy what you want to buy. So for instance, we can't use this, but see, this ship here would cost us 3,000. We don't have it. What we can do is we can use the exchange to move money between accounts. So if our other account had, say, 500,000 Dilithium on it, and we wanted just to move some over to this account to buy our ship, what we do is we go into the store. We go into the exchange, beg your pardon, and we pop in the amount of Dilithium we want to exchange in this box here. So how much do we want to sell? So let's say we wanted to move 500 Dilithium from one character to the other. We pop in 500 down the bottom, don't change anything else, and we'd submit an offer to buy Zen for Dilithium. So we do this. It says, are you sure? And we go, yes. Now, as soon as we have done that, we immediately go to cancel the offer. Now, what that does is it moves that Dilithium into our wallet or into our account here. Now, this account is account-wide for all your characters. So when you log off of one character, let's say we did this on a level 65 character. When we log this character in and we go to the exchange in our wallet, there it is, the Dilithium. We can withdraw it. So see here, we have 2,784. If I withdraw some of that, For instance, I'll withdraw 1,000. Not everything, 1,000. And you'll see this figure will go up by 1,000 to 3,784. So that is just a little trick. It is the only way in game to transfer funds or dilithium currency, and now you know how to do it. So we'll turn that off. So what we have done now, we've got enough money to actually buy the ship we should have in the first place. So we are going to buy our constellation. Make sure that the screen doesn't flip over on you when you're not looking. It has a habit of doing that sometimes, little glitches. So we buy our ship. Bang. Now, this is where we went wrong last time. It had a name we didn't like. We tried to rename it, and that kind of went wrong. And I thought we could just discharge the ship and come back and get a freebie, but we couldn't. So let's try and do this right. So rename our ship, and we were going to rename it the Hawk Moon 2. But I've already got a 2 at the moment, so I'm going to put the 2 in, but I'll call this B so that we know this is where we did a little bit of jiggery-pokery to get back on course. There we go, Hawkmoon 2B is done. Now, what we then do is go to Manage Ships, and we're going to find, this is our substitute ship. We're going to find the one we're supposed to be using, and remember we're going to click ready to move the main or best weapons across and equipment, and bosh, over it comes. It's moved this stuff from the other ship. You'll see it's still here, but there's a little icon above it that says it's not actually on this ship anymore. It's been moved. In the yellow it says it's equipped on a different ship. So there we have it. We're actually now where we're supposed to be. We can delete this ship because we're not meant to have it. I'm just going to make sure there's no equipment on it that we need or should have. So anything with a white starship in the top left has been moved. This hasn't been moved, this secondary deflector. We can't actually use that on our Constitution class. So I'm going to let that go at the same time as the ship because we can't use it. And we're not supposed to have it. So to discharge the ship, remember, we have to type in its full name exactly as it is shown there. So these are capitals. And it has to be exactly the same, otherwise the OK button will not light up. So we can click on that button and that ship's gone, and now we are where we're supposed to be at. We have our nice Constitution class, which is the refit Enterprise from the movie, and we are ready to rock and roll. We have no devices in these slots or consoles here, so we're going to have a look to see if we've got anything we can use. And we can use the batteries. So we've got shield and auxiliary batteries, which will boost our power when they start getting a bit low. Also on the right hand side here, anything that is lit up can be used on this ship. Anything that is of a lesser value, we probably want to just dump now because we want to keep our inventory clean. So we just mouse over, for instance, is that item there better than something on our ship? Not really. It's a dual beam. It's got a slightly higher DPS than our current twin phaser beam. But one of the things to remember is these stats are not necessarily 100% accurate because it does not reflect skills or other modifiers. And what that means is if you have a certain skill or a crew member does, or a certain console that boosts these weapons, they will actually be better than the stats you see there. So definitely get rid of anything that's a common level item if you're not going to use it. So if we right click, we can salvage it to get some components, or if we discard it, we'll end up getting some credits for it. If we salvage it, it's less credits, but we get building materials. So we're going to salvage that item there. Now here we've got a level 4 beam, which we can use as opposed to level 2s. So if you have managed to get one of those by picking up a drop or something like that, we're obviously going to swap that out for a level 2. It's much more powerful. So we can choose swapping it out between the dual beam bam phases or the twin phases. Both sound very similar, don't they? One's a phaser dual and one's a twin phaser, but they're actually slightly different in the way they work. So we'll notice that the dual beam is a 90-degree arc. Remember, we said about the firing arc, 90 degrees is quite small, and if you head straight onto your enemy, it's really good. If you're turned away from your enemy, you're not actually going to be able to use that weapon. So you decide which one you want, because it's got a higher DPS than the twin phaser, but it'll fire less often if you're not actually turning towards your enemy. So we're going to swap that one out, which is over here. And there it is with the 90. So we can either drag it, as I've said, or we can click on the square. If you equip it, it gets attached to your account, so you can't trade it, sell it, or anything once you do that. So just be sure you want to do it. We haven't dealt with trading or the exchange yet, so it really doesn't matter. We'll get round to that. We might want to just keep that for now. We might use it if we don't like the other one. So I'll just drag that out of the way. So next, see here we have dual cannons. We cannot use cannons on a cruiser. You can only use them on this Constellation class ship, shall we say. We can only use it on the types of ship marked in red below: escorts, strike wing fighters, etc., and some cruisers, but not this one. So it's as much use as a chocolate teapot to us. So we are going to right click on it and we are going to salvage it, etc. I'll try and move through here as quickly as I can without deleting stuff that I want. Now we've got a high level torpedo, so we'll swap that torpedo out. And we do have a choice. We can put 2 torpedoes on the back, or 1 torpedo and a beam, or on the front again we could put torpedoes. Some people later on in the game like to make what they call torpedo boats and have lots of torpedoes on the front or all over. It's just very easy gameplay a little bit, so you can go in to do a mission or with a team and just play a particular role. So we'll again dump stuff we don't need. Level 2 beams are no good to us. They have no value. We can't trade them. So we'll just get rid of all these things. You probably won't have all these things anyway if you didn't make the mistake I made of not being able to get the Constellation ship. So your inventory is probably a lot cleaner. If you want to do it in a quicker way, we can use the filters, and we can say we only want to see common items to take the tick out of all these other boxes. And these are all your common things. So we immediately want to get rid of all this stuff. So we just delete. And I've doubled up on some things because I've swapped starships and the items have been left behind in my inventory. So my apologies, it's just going to take a few seconds to do, but it's good to talk. I hope you're all having wonderful days or evenings, depending on when you're watching this video. If you're watching me live, please do follow. If you're watching recorded on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel as well, and you'll see all the new upcoming missions and things we can do as we go along. As I say, I'm playing this at as if I was just starting the game and at this level, so I'm going to explain all the little things as they come along. Okay, so what else do we have in here? We'll reset to show everything. Here we go. So anything that is not highlighted is something that goes on a person. So we'll go from here, we will hop into our character screen and see what we've got. We have in here level 2 shields. We don't need it. We're wearing a better quality shield, but down here there's a level 4. So we will pop that on. We have also acquired a level 4 phaser, but it's not as good as the one we or the rifle we're carrying, so we won't swap that out, but we will swap it out for our other phaser, which is here. So we got more firepower. Now notice I'm not deleting this stuff just yet, and that is because once we have got our own equipment done, we want to go through our crew. Now our new crew doesn't really have too much going on for him, so we'll spread the love, give him some better quality weapons, and if we've got devices, like he can have a cup of coffee, it'll give him a bit of strength if he gets beaten up too much. Now we'll make sure they've got the best available weapons and shields that they can have. So make sure they've got a shield. They don't always come with one. Mostly they come with a basic one, but you're going to want to swap that out for the next level up. Pop. That's a 1, that's a 2, and etc, etc. Okay, as I've said before, just make sure you update your crew as you go along, because they need to be strong in the same way that you do. So we're just going to discard all this rubbish here. Now I've just noticed before I deleted it, there is a level 4 shield there. So luckily we did not delete that shield. I'll just stick that out the way. The data recorder is something that happens automatically, but we need to make sure it is at least equipped. So level 4 shield here. Now what are we wearing? We have a 4. This chap has a 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 down there. He's only got a 1, so let's give him the 4. Why not? We could have given that to one of our other older crewmates, but at this level, it doesn't really matter too much as long as we are upgrading them. So here we'll notice we've got some minor regenerators. These actually revive injured personnel. If you've got somebody you're playing at a high level and you're looking at their stats, it will sometimes say this person is injured and you'll need to heal them pretty much like operating, shall we say. So we'll hang on to those. We can use our shuttle for storing things if we like. For instance, we could put this onto the shuttle. It's better than the weapons it's already got. And we do sometimes have to use our shuttle, so we'll make sure it's got some good weapons on it as we go along as well, or at least as good as can be. Alrighty, so I think we are up to date on getting our ship back. Now, once we've been promoted and we have gone from lieutenant to lieutenant commander, we can promote our crew, and we should do this as we get promoted. We promote those people because it gives them more skills and higher points. When we promote them, it tells us it costs some XP points. It's going to cost us 1,000, and we've got 12,000, so that is okay. So we'll go down to each crew member and promote them, and they'll be very, very happy. When you have filled in all of your crew, we've still got 4 officers here to go. We will possibly at some stage want to swap them out and get some better crew members, or we will get some crew members offered to us that we cannot fit in our roster here. So we will have to decide which ones to keep in order to bring new ones in. We don't have to make the hard decisions just yet. So here we are. We have our ship Hawkmoon 2 be ready to rock and roll, and we have our mission up here, Stranded in Space, which is the next episode in the Klingon War. So we're in story arc 2 for us, or story arc 1 if you've just started off straight in this time stream. So we can hit this button to go straight to where we need to go. To say we don't need to beam up at the moment. I think you can all do this. It's only recently been added the last year or so. Usually you'd have to wait till you're a certain level. So if you don't have this option, which could be carrying over from my high level toons, you'll have to beam into space and use the map to work your way to where you need to go.
To any ships in range, this is Dana Brott of the transport SS Azura. Please help. Warp core containment field down. Radiation flooding ship. Communications and life support failing. Cannot eject warp core. Need immediate evacuation and assistance. Please help us.
I think we should go and help the lady. What do you think, guys and ladies out there? Let's do it. So we're going to begin Stranded in Space, which is to rescue the Azura, which is an important ship to us, as you will find out.
To any ships in range, this is Dana Brott of the transport SS Azura. Please help. We're being pursued by Orion Raiders. Crew injured, taking heavy fire. Dropping out of warp near your coordinates. Need immediate evacuation and assistance. Please help us.
Now, she really does need help, but as I said in the last video, when you change ships, a lot of the time your bar or group of icons down the bottom here will blank out or default to just ordinary stuff. So we need to change that. So we go into our available skills tray. We turn off the lock. And again, I'm going to pull these default icons out by clicking on them with my right mouse button. So we can start from scratch. As I said before, I like to put attacking icons on the left and defensive on the right, so I know which side of my box is here to go if I need to do something really quickly. So batteries here, hold the left button down, drag it onto your tray. Batteries are kind of not as useful, I guess, as weapons and stuff. So I just tuck them down the bottom out of the way. You may, depending on your gameplay, you may or may not actually use these. At lower levels you probably will, but I find at a high level I actually don't even equip these things. Now the next one is Attract Fire. Now Attract Fire does give you some more damage buff, increase in your shields and stuff. However, it also means that you're attracting fire, which means ships are more likely to target you than somebody else. If you've got a big ship and you're playing in a team and it's pretty well armored, you can help your team by using Attract Fire. It kind of allows them a bit more freedom to do what they're doing. Personally, at this level, I don't like things hitting me, so I'm not going to even drag that to the tray. This one is to change the modulations of your shields, so we'll drag that down. Here we've got strategic maneuvering, increasing our flight speed and turn rate. Now I'm going to actually pop that down on the left as a more attacking thing. Although it helps you move defensively and get away from people and not be targeted so easy, it is also very useful for nipping in and out while you're shooting people. And here we've got some efficiency with our weapons, so we'll pull that down as well. The data recorder, we actually, you'll probably never ever use it. You may want to equip it just to listen to Ambassador Spock from time to time. So I'll just pull it down and drop it somewhere out of the way so I can show you what it does. The ones to do with distributing your shield power, you can actually do that on the shield icons down the bottom here. It's now lighting up when I put my cursor over it, so you don't really need to worry about having that down there. Here we've got moving power to weapons and stuff. It'll give us a bonus to our weapons fire and strength. Again, there's always a cooldown on these things, but when you can use it, use it. So we'll pop that over here. Engineering team helps heal us. It can also help a friend. If you've clicked on that friend, if they're in trouble, you can heal them if you're that sort of a player. So we'll pull that down. It's fairly important to us. That's the emergency team 1. This here is exactly the same, and you can only use one or the other. The difference is it's got 23C, which means we pulled this from the 23rd century with us. It's not going to make any difference which one you use. Sometimes you'll see with weapons there's 23C after it. The difference is it'll look different and you'll get a different pew pew when you fire it. So it's up to you how you want to play that. It can be quite cool. Evasive Maneuvers, well, that's zipping in and out, up and down really fast. It's very similar to the other thing we dragged down here. So we always have that. I always have that on bottom left because I use it a lot and I like to memorize where it is. Full impulse we don't need. That's already attached to your throttle here. Your beam arrays, we do not need to pull those down because they are already here under weapons. Same with torpedo, same with sending power to each shield individually. We can do that from these icons down the bottom. Here's another defensive capability, rotating the shield frequencies. We pull that across to our defense side. Shield batteries, again, as I said with the auxiliary ones, I probably won't use them too much, but at this level you may want to. Torpedo high yield 23C, we've already got that equipped with our officer here. We don't need to pull it down. Again, some of these are up here. Now, depending on what I'm doing, I will sometimes double that up because I may be looking at one bar more often than the other one. So we've got enough room to double that up. And our tractor beam will plop in slightly to one side. It's more attacking than defensive if we want to stop a ship from getting away from us so we can blow it up. Once you've got your stuff in here, remember to lock your tray. And we're ready to go. Now, this was really, really important, but even though your heart rate went up and we wanted to go in there and help them really quickly, they're still alive. We had time to do this. Some things are on a timer and you don't have the time, but we can sort all this out before when we're in open space as opposed to in system space. Alrighty, it's time to go and kick A. Let's go in and save that ship. Now look at our beautiful Constellation class ship that came from Star Trek the Motion Picture. We can stop here and scan this ore if we need to. As I say, we're not on a timer to rescue this ship. We're not being attacked. So let's do this and get some crafting materials while we're here. And of course, as soon as we do that, we get attacked, but that's okay. Ah, too slow. Right, we will still have got some crafting materials from that, but not as many as we could get if we'd been doing it more efficiently.
Target shields have failed.
One down. Looks like 3 to go.
Target shields have failed.
And that's 2-0 to me. Right, let's head on to the next lot. We can use full impulse to get there quicker. As soon as we start firing, that will drop down to normal impulse. But we still want to control how fast we're going. Once again, I'm attempting to pick one of them off. Sometimes that's not possible. They will all come and attack you at the same time, but sometimes you can drag them away from the pack, like a lion hunting the weakest. We'll separate it from its pack. Sometimes you can't.
Target shields have failed.
And away she goes. Now I'll just stop the ship here so I can take this item. What did we get? We got another battery. We're not too worried about that. And now we can scan the Azure. See what kind of shape she's in. And now look, we're going to need to transport across with a team because we're going to help them fix where their radiation leak is coming from. Again, if we had a bigger team, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members now. So what we can actually do is swap people out if we want. If we, for instance, don't want to take Scavin, we don't think he has the attributes we need, we'll swap him out for somebody who is not already on our team. And there we go, we've gone for Bowl. Notice again his icons haven't shown up. I believe it's a little bug in the system, so we can go into our character screen go into Bowl and go into his skills. And once we go in there, magically they show up. Now, depending on the missions, as I said before, you might want to choose appropriate away team people with different skills or skills you think will be beneficial. At this level, pretty much all of these people will do their job. And in we go, we're beaming across to the Azure, and let's see what's going on here.
Captain, I'm concerned about the radiation on the Azura. She might have some damage to the warp core, but our sensors can't pick up enough to determine exactly what you'll find over there. I'm sure I can send you and the away team to the ship safely, but getting you back might be a problem until the Azura's critical damage is repaired. Step on the transporter pad when you're ready to go, and be careful, sir.
Now that's interesting. It's the Azura. Now for 10 years I've been thinking that A on the end was an E because I didn't have my glasses on perhaps, and calling it Azure. So it's the Azura. Fantastic. You learn something every day. So we need to go onto the transporter pad over here, blow up team, and beam out. And here we are on the Azura. Now we need to shut down the plasma leaks. There's our little green circles here in our mini-map showing us where they are. As I said, mostly the game takes you on a logical course anyway, so if you just head, if it's just a corridor or something like this, just head in the direction you're facing. Here we have to use the consoles, bypass conduits and lock down the plasma leaks. Now, one thing we don't want to do is to run into the plasma because that will kill us, basically. You can go in and come out quickly, but there is some residue effect, so your health will go down for a little bit, but sometimes it'll kill you really quick. And here's the panel. We stay out of the gas, and it's shut down. It won't, in some missions, it doesn't shut down that quickly, so actually wait for it to shut down before you run through it. And we have some enemies, some Orions on this ship. They've been down, so we'll take them out. Notice our health went down, now it's coming up again, so we do need to keep an eye on that and use any medicine or shields boosters as necessary. Now there's no console here, so we need to find out where it is. And it's going to be in a room somewhere. So let's have a little look on our main map. And we can see we've got to go into this room right here. So we turn around and we're going to head in to the right of the next door. We'll just remember our tab key to target anyone who's in here straight away. Use any supplementary weapons if we wish. It's if you've got it, you may as well use it. Now before you go clicking on consoles and that, kill all the enemy off. Okay, we've got a guy on the floor here. Icon above his head says we can talk to him, so let's do that. Or scan him in this case. Now, you'll notice here we actually can't do anything to this guy. We need to be a science officer, and we're not. So each class of person will have slightly different things to do within missions as well. This is one thing we can't do. But we've at least scanned them. There's a crate here. Let's have a look what we've got in this crate. Some small shield charges. Now here is our nice icon that tells us there's some crafting material, so we will scan that and remember to use our waveform matching skills that I failed miserably on up in space. Done. Now our console is here, but we'll just pick this item up. We're not under threat. We've got a tribble. Yay! Now tribbles, when you go into your inventory, tribbles can have nice healing effects or calming effects. Like any device you add, like a shield charge or whatever, it can be used. But the tribbles don't disappear. You can only use them for within a certain time period. So we'll have a tribble. We'll pop him on us. There he is. And what you do when you play with your tribble is he'll purr a little bit while we're waiting for him to. It's time to go down. We'll just use his console. So if I use my tribble, you'll notice it will give us plus 50% hit points for 4 seconds. So next time we go into battle, we're going to hit that, and that means we are 50% stronger for 4 seconds, which is more than enough time to get stuck in. So we can now carry on this way to the next plasma leak. Now this console is going to be this side. Now we'll hit. We've got to hit our tribble before we go into battle. So we can't use him there. And sometimes you can only use things at certain times. It's not letting us use our tribble. That's really sad. So we're going to wander around and find the conduits console to turn that one off. Now we've turned all of the plasma leaks off, and now we have to go and find the warp core. Again, it's a logical progression. We're just going to make sure we don't get attacked. Now this person I've highlighted here is blue, so they are not an enemy, so we are quite safe to go in here, I think. Tamet has found out that it's about to blow. So what can we do?
We hit an Orion ambush on our way to K7. We lost our weapons almost immediately, and then we took a direct hit near engineering. Our warp engine's magnetic antimatter containment field failed. We had no choice but to drop shields and use the power to try to stabilize the containment field. As soon as the shields were down, Orions boarded the ship. I'll never let those green pirates have the Azura. Please, take my crew to safety. I'll keep trying to stabilize the warp core. If I'm lucky, I can buy you some time.
Now, before we run away with this crew, we are going to do anything we can do in here. It says it's going to blow, but in this particular case, we've got plenty of time. We can use our scanner to see if there is more crafting materials around that is nothing showing, but it is pointing us to a console that we need to go to. So we can scan the warp core. If you notice on the right hand side in our mission objectives here. Engineering needed to scan or contain the warp core. If it was science or tech, it would be something else, but we had to do that, and that is what we're doing. And over here to this console we go. And another console. We're going to put a containment field around the core. And we've contained the warp core. It's gone green. We've done our engineering mission. And now we have to return to the cargo bay and get these people out of Dodge. Now here you'll notice some icons with crew members. We'll go and see if we can help them along the way. And looky, they're not Orions. They look like Klingons. Now, here we see there's a Targ handler, which means there are going to be some Targs, and they're going to try and eat us. We don't want that. So let's take these people out.
It is no surprise that the cowardly Orions cannot even handle raiding a freighter.
Personal shield losing power.
But their call for assistance has given us a chance for glorious combat.
Glorious deaths. Now there's a console here, and it's lit up. What does it do for us? Let's have a look. It's not part of the mission list. And there we go. We find that this is for attack officer. So we couldn't actually do anything there, but at least we now know. Okay. Now let's have a little look in this room. It looks like there's someone we can interact with in here. Can we actually do anything for them? Let's have a look. Oh, that's not good. They're dying. It's worse than that. He's dead, Jim. So we're going to leave him here. Nothing to pick up. I thought there was, but it's disappeared on us. So on our merry way. And again, there's some baddies here. Maybe we'll fire a couple of shots and see if we can draw them back towards our mortar. And there it is, it's firing away. Now we've got to get out of this red circle, which we got held in, so we couldn't.
Personal shield losing power. Flanking damage detected.
We need to boost our shield up there a little bit.
Enemy combatants in close proximity. Personal shield losing power.
Now we're going to take all these people out. You can actually, and I've done it on another mission or another run through this, you can actually just really run really fast past all these guys and get to the cargo bay to beam out. But where's the fun in that? And you're also not picking up your XP. So here we go. We've managed to dispatch them. And now Tarsi is telling us that there may be Klingons around. Well, we've already found that out. Nice one. So we'll take these items. Look at that. We've got a Mark III pulse wave assault weapon. And some banana pancakes. Yay. So we just picked this up as well. And an engineering kit. Now, before we go any further, we may run into some more Klingons. So let's have a look in our inventory and at our character. Did we pick up something that is better than what we're using? We picked up this assault rifle. It actually isn't any better than what we're using. However, it will be better than what one of our crew members using, so we will give them a new weapon there. We're not going to use this one again, so we will get rid of it. Shields at the moment, we are taking some damage, so I am going to put the shields on myself. And the pancake, because who doesn't like pancakes? But notice here we picked up a kit module here, and it's an engineering one, and we happen to be engineering officer. So let's equip that. So when we equip that over here, we get a new thing on our bar down the bottom, which is the ability to recharge a shield without using shield charge, which is consumed on use. This will allow us to do it every so often, all the time. So that was a good pickup. So again, we are returning to the cargo bay, watching out for any Klingons beaming in or hiding on the ship. We will see them on our map as red dots anyway. It's never too much of a surprise. Unless at later levels you get some enemies who have stealth capabilities, and they may not necessarily show up there, and you will have to use some of your skills, or you can increase some of your skills to allow you to find people easier or detect them. So we have rescued the crew and saved the ship, which was our mission. But it looks like the Orions are sending in some attack ships, so we need to get back onto our bridge and get into action there. Now, it's not going to let us beam straight up because it wants us to use the transporter. Of course, normally we would be able to beam up directly from the spot we were at. But because the mission wants us to go here, we need to go here. Beam me up, Scotty. And we have to get to the bridge.
Leave now if you know it's good for you, Starfleet. We are taking this ship, her crew, and her cargo.
So it's not the Orions coming in, it's the Klingons. They're a little bit tougher, so let's take them out. And here they come.
Warning, ship is under attack.
They're level 1 ships, as you can see here. They shouldn't cause us too much trouble. Our shields are not even getting damaged. Nothing's getting through to the hull. We'll just tractor beam this guy so he doesn't get away. Remember, you can increase and decrease your speed. You don't have to be flying everywhere at full impulse. Now we've got some ships behind us as well somewhere. Let's go and hunt them down. There they are.
Warning, ship is under attack.
So we use our bridge officer skills as necessary. We can maneuver around really fast, make ourselves harder to hit. I kind of like that sometimes. Now, depending on the type of ship you are actually flying, a cruiser is not going to be as maneuverable as an escort or a fighter ship, and you will see that in game that some of the other players may be zooming around you and out of battles, and you're not quite so fast, and that's just because it's the type ship you are flying, and that is perfectly okay. Now we'll just scan this first because we want to get our crafting materials, and sometimes if you carry on a bit with the mission, it may take you away from this screen and you'll lose those materials.
Many thanks. If it hadn't been for you and your crew, I would have lost my ship and my life. I'm in your debt. I'm setting a course to Earth's space dock for repairs. If I see you at Club 47, the drinks are on me. I think I might even have a few bottles of Tranya in the cargo hold.
Woohoo! Party time! All right, and the Azura makes its merry way to Earth Star Dock, and we are left here. Now you'll notice that we've saved the ship and we can leave the system, and it tells us here to hail Starfleet to tell them we've completed our mission. So we click on continue. We don't want to leave the system right now because look here, there is some more crafting material. So we'll go down and collect that. We need to be within 5 kilometers. For you people in the USA, what would that be? About 4.5 miles. Come on, guys, go metric with the rest of us. You know you want to. Wait, you don't want to? Okay. So let's scan this. Match the waveform and then depart the system. So we have now completed Stranded in Space.
Well done. You saved that crew just in time.
And once again, we can collect our rewards. As with the other videos, I'm not going to do that right now because it'll take us into the next mission, and I do like to actually start at the beginning screens. So we can go into our journal, check our episodes. Mine's full here because I've done them all before. You may only see the ones you can do. And we've done 1, 2, 3 parts of this story arc. The next part is a research rescue, which we will do in the next video. So I've been Sean, you've been wonderful, of course. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you join me for the next mission and that you're having fun so far. If you are, drop me a message. I don't generally see them when I'm playing because the overlay doesn't always work, but I do pop back and have a read at a later date. Please follow and subscribe, of course, and have a wonderful rest of your day.